Good morning. It's Wednesday, the 16th of June. I'm back in the reading nook with a nice hot cup of tea. It is a bright, sunny day, but quite cool with it. It's not as hot as it has been, so it's quite pleasant out here. And I have a small pile of things to unbox. So the next one I am going to unbox is this one, and this one has come all the way from Australia, from Caradoc Games, and looks to be a fanzine. At least basically fanzine sized because of the size of the envelope. So okay. What we've got is Rascals. I do say my one comment would be that could have done with a bit of a stiffener in the packaging, because that's not because that's how it's come. I'm gonna have to just put that under a bit of heavyweight. That's not a problem, but obviously that could have been solved if there'd been a stiffener. So this is from Caradoc Games. Rascals, they're back. We've got quite an action-packed image on the front there. And Rascals, one last job, one last mission, one last assignment, one last time. Okay, introduction. You made it out. One of the few managed to break the tradition that the only way to escape your old line of employment was in a body bag. Hell, it was a stupid tradition. Everyone in the network wept in collective relief when the Accords of Luton B were signed. Few will ever know how close things got. After the maelstrom of civil war and the silence that followed, only then was it apparent how high the cost had been. Stunning and savage. Centuries of toil might never have seen the network rebuilt. What you did when the war waged is classified, but when the signature dried in the Accords, you got out, you and your team. Against all odds, you made it out. Ahead, there were clear skies and open transfers. You had enough squared away to get your ship to any planet in the network. You'd been told the files had been shredded, all records wiped. You'd hoped for a life where you didn't have to keep looking over your shoulder. Maybe a quiet habitat somewhere, a hobby, a family even. And the endless possibilities of a new life earned with the blood of the old. Then everything changed. So that's the setup. Okay. Essentially, in this game, the characters are rascals, ex-special forces, spies or crooks, hard-boiled types who work together in hot zones during the former unpleasantness. Rascals is a game of high action and high stakes. The game master is called the House because when the high stakes are high, the House usually wins. Uses 2 decks of regular playing cards and 2 lots of differently coloured poker chips. One set of cards and chips is for the player, the other is for the house. Each suit in the deck relates to a character archetype and a skill. Essentially, you basically characters are basically the archetypes are the brain, the face, the muscle, the stick, and you have got the 3 suits. Sorry. Essentially, we have very clean, simple layout. And everyone, essentially, every character has a trick related to their special ability, basic special ability, but related to their essentially to their strength. So brains can have grand strategist or fool surgeon or quick thinker, insightful. A face, contacts, inspiring speaker, quick talker, resourceful leader, muscle, grit, precise shot, speed loader, unload, stick. See, the stick is basically the stick is the driver. basically the essentially defensive maneuvers, jink, quick fingers, free runner. And then everyone has hustle, energy, verve, and health of the character. It's spent to use archetype powers to undertake risky challenges and may be lost when a character becomes strained or injured. And then essentially got a bit of equipment, so you've got a description of hustle there, starting equipment for the characters. And then you go into, okay, that's the character setup, and then the problem. What was the trigger that's drawn the characters back into their old life? You essentially shuffle the deck, draw one card. If the card matches the suit of a character in the group, the trigger is tied to that character. And then the house draws a new card and refers to the table below to see what peril has befallen the trigger. So it might be, for a brains, a family member or old friend, and the peril might be captured or sought by another enemy because they know the identity of a person with unique intel of profound political and social importance. So, put the table there. And then essentially by drawing more cards, so you can go behind the mask and setting the stakes with drawing the cards. So you're basically building up elements of the plot that's pulling the characters back into their old lives. So there we go. As I say, you can see how this has, basically just by the curvature of the pages, how this is sort of like a bit of a tumultuous journey from here, from Australia to here. And basically nice that we have an explanation of how to create a sample problem. And basically that's not just a case of drawing the card, it's fleshed out, ready to play, so that you, as the referee, the house could use that if they wanted to. And then the rules themselves go into some detail. Essentially you're drawing cards to get the right suite to undertake actions and beat values and so on. And then essentially you have feats, which are amazing actions you can do. And we go on to combat, essentially combat. Basically, the Rascals characters always act before adversaries. They have that edge, essentially at the same time we've got dealing with ships and vehicles. Here we go. Sample freighter. Got a sample weapon over here. Let's go into sort of some detail for spaceships. Then we talk about gear as well, and then onto the setting itself, which is the network. There's quite a little bit of detail there as well. And we have adversaries, so ace pilot, big gun soldier, fixer, finder of things, goon, thug, or grunt. Very easy, simple setup there. And then with the character sheet. And weapon cards. Spaceships. And vehicle cards. So this just runs to probably about 48 pages. So let's just check now. So 23, 27, 28, 30, 32, 34, something 34, 36 pages, and you've got an index. I mean, for something as small and simple as that, takes the time to find an index just in case, and that's a nice touch. And it's got a nice cover. It's got like that kind of matte cover. It gives it a sort of like a good feel in the hand. So that's Rascals. It's an interesting little role-playing game. I would be interested to sort of like dig into that deeper. Basically, it's going to be offering smaller, sort of shorter games, that kind of thing, with low preparation as well. As I said, my only grumble would be the shipping issue, where essentially a stiffener should have gone into the into the bag. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, this is the sort of thing that will come off ZineQuest over on Kickstarter. And there's essentially the full. It's now no longer. I would suggest an event about Zines as such, because essentially you have instead of fanzines being sort of like a collection of content for a specific game, or a collection of essays or something, you have the format being used as to create small role-playing games. And this is one example. And then so basically the running out of time, and they're coming, basically the ones by Diego Norgora for Caradoc Games, essentially following the same kind of format, where you have small games using the fanzine format, like Rascals. Well, thank you for watching another unboxing in the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, please do click the like button down below. And if you've got any feedback or comments, then I do appreciate you taking the time to post those, just as I do you taking the time to watch these videos, because essentially they were just a bit of fun. Me sat out here out in the garden with a nice hot cup of tea, a package, and something to talk about for 10 minutes. And of course, if you want to be alerted to more unboxings in the Nook, please do click the subscribe button down below, and you'll be alerted to whenever another video appears. There are definitely more coming. So thank you again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I'll be back soon with another. Bye for now.